How Carl Jung secretly wrote Harry Potter. What if I told you the most successful author of our time didn't actually come up with her billion-dollar story? What if the secret to Harry Potter's insane success wasn't just J.K. Rowling's imagination, but the work of a Swiss psychologist who died in 1961, 3 years before she was even born? I know what you're thinking, this sounds like some crazy conspiracy theory, but it's not. There is a literal blueprint hidden inside the Harry Potter series, a psychological secret so powerful it basically guaranteed the story would connect with millions. That blueprint was drawn by Carl Jung, and once I show it to you, you will never read Harry Potter the same way again. So there was this psychiatrist, Carl Jung, and he had this insane idea that all of humanity shares a collective unconscious. It's basically the idea that we all have a secret hard drive of universal ancient patterns and symbols passed down for thousands of years. He called these patterns archetypes. Think of them like the original video game characters for our brains: the hero, the wise old guide, the evil shadow, the prankster. These are characters that feel instantly familiar, no matter where you're from, because they're hardwired into our minds. J.K. Rowling, whether she knew it or not, basically plugged her story directly into this secret human hard drive. She didn't just write a story, she hacked our brains. She filled her world with Jung's most powerful archetypes and created a modern myth that feels as ancient as any legend. Today, we're exposing the Jungian code that made Harry Potter a global mega hit: the hero and the orphan. First up, Harry Potter himself. Harry is the ultimate hero, a perfect example of one of Jung's biggest archetypes. The hero's journey is in myths all over the world, and it almost always starts with a humble, totally overlooked beginning. Harry isn't a prince. He's a kid living in a closet. This isn't just a sad backstory. It is literally the launchpad for the entire hero mission. The hero gets thrown into a world of adventure and danger, has to face insane trials, find allies, and fight a massive evil. Harry's journey from a boring suburb to Hogwarts and his battles against dark magic follow this ancient pattern perfectly. But Rowling did something even smarter. She stacked another powerful archetype on top: the orphan. The orphan is a character who feels totally cut off from family, which makes you immediately feel for them and their deep need to belong. You see this character everywhere, from Oliver Twist to Cinderella, because it taps into our biggest fear: being abandoned. Harry, being an orphan, makes his search for friends at Hogwarts incredibly powerful. The one thing he wants more than anything, what he sees in the mirror of Ariste, is to be with his parents, a deep need for connection that fuels his entire character. By combining the hero and the orphan, Rowling created a main character who isn't just destined for greatness, but is also super relatable. We don't just cheer for him because he's the chosen one. We cheer for him because we all know what it's like to want a home. The wise wide man. Every hero needs a mentor, and in Jungian psychology, this is the wise old man. Jung saw this archetype as a master of wisdom who shows up in a crisis to help the hero find their way. In Harry Potter, this is obviously Albus Dumbledore. Dumbledore is not just some powerful wizard or a nice headmaster. He is the wise old man. He has all the secrets, gives crazy cryptic advice, and literally only shows up when Harry is most desperate and about to fail. Think about how he appears at the end of the first few books. He doesn't just fix Harry's problems. He guides Harry to understand his own journey and his own choices. That's the main job of the wise old man: show the hero the way, but never do the work for him. Even Dumbledore's flaws, like being super secretive, just make the archetype more real. And it's not just Dumbledore. Guys like Hagrid and Sirius Black also act as mentors, each guiding Harry in different ways, confronting the shadow. But this is the craziest, most brilliant part of the entire series: the connection between Harry and Voldemort. To get this, you need to understand Jung's concept of the shadow. The shadow is basically all the dark stuff we push down and hate about ourselves. Our fears, our anger, the parts of us we pretend aren't there. Jung believed that to actually grow as a person, you have to confront your shadow. Voldemort isn't just a bad guy. He is literally Harry's shadow come to life. The books scream this at you. They're linked by the prophecy. Their wands share a core from the same phoenix, and Harry can literally read Voldemort's mind. And the biggest clue of all, a piece of Voldemort's soul is inside Harry. This isn't just a cool plot twist. It's a massive psychological metaphor. Harry's real battle wasn't just fighting Voldemort out there. It was fighting the Voldemort inside himself. Throughout the books, Harry is constantly tempted by the things he shares with Voldemort: anger, breaking rules, and a crazy amount of power. The Sorting Hat even wanted to put him in Slytherin. Harry's journey to becoming a true hero means he has to accept this dark part of himself, not run from it. Voldemort is what happens when you completely reject your own humanity, splitting your soul just to live forever. In the final book, when Harry willingly walks into the forest to die, he isn't just sacrificing himself. He is fully confronting his own death and the piece of Voldemort inside him, a final act of accepting his shadow that allows him to come back to life, whole, and finally win. Section 4. The Archetypal Supporting Cast. And this secret blueprint is everywhere in the wizarding world. The Weasley twins, Fred and George, perfect trickster archetypes. The trickster isn't just a class clown. This figure challenges authority and reveals truths by causing chaos. Their rebellion against Dolores Umbridge is a classic trickster move, exposing how evil the system had become. Jung also had these ideas called the anima and animus, the hidden feminine and masculine parts of our brains. Look at how Harry's growth is always pushed forward by Hermione. She isn't just a sidekick. She represents logic, knowledge, and intelligence, qualities Harry has to learn to win. Ron gives him loyalty and a connection to a normal family, grounding Harry with friendship. Every character is another piece of a complete human psyche, all of them working to help the hero on his path to becoming whole. The revelation, the collective unconscious. So, what does all this mean? Was J.K. Rowling secretly a psychology student? Probably not. The real magic here is something way, way deeper. It means that Rowling tapped into the collective unconscious, that secret database of myths and symbols that we all inherit. The reason Harry Potter feels so timeless is because it's built from the same story DNA as the myths we've been telling for thousands of years. The story's success wasn't a lucky break. It was practically guaranteed because it speaks a language our subconscious minds already understand. We recognize the hero, we trust the wise guide, and we feel that creepy familiarity of the shadow. Rowling's genius wasn't just in creating something new, but in rediscovering this ancient formula and bringing it to life for our generation. She gave us a story that feels like it has always existed, because, in a way, it has. Once you start looking for them, you'll see these archetypes everywhere, from Star Wars to The Lion King. What are some other movies or books where you've seen this hidden blueprint at play? Let me know in the comments below. And if you had fun on this deep dive into storytelling, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Looking at Harry Potter like this doesn't make Rowling's achievement any less incredible. If anything, it makes it even more incredible. It shows that the story of the boy wizard is more than just a fairy tale about magic. It's a story about being human. It's a roadmap for growing up, a journey of facing our inner darkness to find our light. The ultimate secret of Harry Potter is that it's not just Harry's story. It's our story too. It's a reflection of the journey toward becoming whole that exists inside every one of us. And that leaves us with one last crazy question. What other modern myths are shaping our world, built on these same ancient, invisible foundations?